Welcome back, everybody, to the Photo Memoirs. My name is Don, and today we're taking a look at a few more photographs for our review. And this is our third episode of this kind of review. So I encourage you, if you're going out and you're trying to create some new photographs, that you take a look at what you got, and that if you'd like to improve in your photography, you can get in touch with me, send me a message on Facebook, or directly email me your photographs, and I will include them in our next photo review. I hope to do this daily, but I see that, like, the first time we got 4 submissions, the second time we got 2 submissions, and today I just have this 1 submission. So I hope that, as you guys go out and create, that you're gonna send me some of your photographs, and that you're gonna really enjoy my reviews and really benefit really from them. And I hope that, over time, as we take a look at these photographs together, that not only will you have your photos reviewed, but you can see some improvement uh, as you continue doing so. So let's just take a look at today's photographs. We have a submission from, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but it's spelled Jhaem. Jhaem. Is that correct? If I'm incorrect, I'm so sorry. And Abrigo, okay, from the Philippines. Thank you so much for sending your photographs. And let's take a closer look at them. Okay, so we have our first photograph here. And again, I think she's doing these photos all with the cell phone. So again, you don't need to have a fancy camera to participate in this. As long as you're going out and you're trying to work on things like your composition, your how you position your camera and how you capture the subject. As long as you're working on those things and you're trying to make better photographs, you can continue to send me your photographs. Even if you don't have a camera, you can use your mobile phone. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, just a photograph here, shooting from the back of a car. Not like anything too like amazing, sorry to say, but I get it. I get the idea, right? It's kind of seeming like a very atmospheric type of image, right? So, and this can look really, really good when you get, this kind of fog on the mirror and stuff. Is that fog, or yeah, I think that maybe fog here, right? Or something is put over there. I don't know. Right. So, I get the idea. It's maybe a hot, wet night outside, and then the cars maybe, yeah, it's kind of pretty hot, humid, that kind of thing. So I get kind of the atmosphere of that, and of course, with some uh, better tools, you can more accurately capture this kind of atmosphere. But you do what you can with the tools that you have, so that's great. I think you're doing good. So the one thing I can say is, as I've said with some of the other photographs, is you have a big chunk at the top and you get a big chunk at the bottom. There's nothing really there, right? So the main part of your photograph is just here in the center. And so, what you can do is you can photograph kind of that way. You can try to include just this part of the photograph, and then actually with your mobile phone, if you're closer and you take a photo like this, you'll be able to get it's not going to be perfect because it's dark, and it's probably it looks like you might be moving in the car, but you'll get at least a nicer photograph, right, with better focus, because you're going to be closer and you're going to have maybe just a little bit nicer view, and then you can cut out some of this kind of empty space that's not really useful in the overall image. Okay, so I think you enjoy taking photographs from your car or from wherever you're traveling from. I Yeah, I don't mind the image, right? Right, you stop there at the red light. Um, it actually kind of reminds me, there was a photographer. Yeah, there was one photographer, and that's what he did. Is his whole thing was the photographs that he captured out of his car window, and I like his name. It's not really coming to my mind at the moment. I'm gonna have to check into that. But basically, his whole series of photographs were, he would go along throughout the city, and yeah, he would just have his car window rolled down, and then he'd take the photographs out of his car, and then you would see the end image, which was, the car window like this, and that would be actually part of the frame, and then you would see, you know whatever the scene that he was taking on the other side. Not not really my type of image, I think. But he did a whole series of it, and his name was known, and his photography was out there to the world for them to see. So that is a big accomplishment. So if you're inside your car, although it's not really my type of thing, if you're inside of your car and you see something that you want to photograph, sure, I say go for it. If it's interesting, photograph. I think sure, and you know what, it can be good practice as well. So that's good. Uh, not like a lot I can say about this image. Just you know, uh, it's obvious that you're taking it from inside a vehicle, and okay, a man with mask there riding his bike, and the red light. Nice bright sunny day, nice blue skies. It looks great actually because right now I'm in Seoul. And it's getting really, really cold. So actually, I wish I was here in this environment. A nice warm day. That just looks great. Okay, so it's better if you guys send me um, the actual images instead of the like a screen capture, but that's okay for this time. Take a look. Okay, so just a horse here. Okay, very good. So uh, one thing I can say is, oh, and this is her Instagram. You can go ahead and check that out. Uh, Jimages, Jimages, J Images, something like that. That's a cool name. I like that. Okay, so one thing that I can say is I think if you're going to take a photograph of this horse, you really want to get this photograph of this horse. I think it's important to include the legs, and yeah, I wouldn't want to cut off the feet, the hooves of this horse for the photograph. I want to include right to the tip of the hooves here. Yeah, I think that would be much better. And you see, I don't really know this whole situation, how you took, I just love horses and hey, let's take the picture. That could be the case, and great job for that. But if you have like a minute or two to think about how you want to frame the image and how you want it to look overall. I love horses. I just want to get a quick snap of this horse, walking through the town, and that's perfectly fine too. But, okay, we're thinking about making a beautiful image and really capturing this horse and the environment around it. Uh, One thing that we could try to avoid is overlapping elements, right? So we have the horse, great. And we have the architecture in the background. Great. That's something that we can't avoid. And that just kind of adds to the whole story and the whole feeling of the image. Fine. But if we can, right, we try to avoid something like that car, right? So I see the horse's head, but then this car takes over, right? So if this horse is moving, say he was walking from this side across the image like this, it would have been a lot better, if possible, to photograph that horse before he got close to this car. So, if he was still a few feet backwards, and then we wouldn't have this kind of overlapping of the horse and the car. And there's similar shades, right? And so this card really kind of draws attention and that impacts the overall image. unfortunately, but still, I love horses, so that's great. Yeah, so this one is much better. This second image is much better, right? So there's nothing out of the way, nothing distracting, right? There's nothing overlapping there. Beautiful, nice. I'd like to take a ride in one of those. It's really cool. I like this image. I think this is really well done. Okay. Okay. Very nice. Just taking the photograph of the atmosphere here. I'm seeing the image. I'm seeing right, like the interest is here. The interest is here. You got this stand here, and you got the wire, and you got the three birds there, and you got the mountains and trees and field here. But there's nothing at the top, right? There's nothing at this top. Just one plain color through the whole thing. And so I think most of your image is right here at the bottom. And so I think, even if you took the photograph like this, right? We call this portrait, or sorry, we call this a landscape mode, right? This left to right instead of up and down. Up to down is called portrait mode, and this is called landscape mode. And I think just a landscape mode would have done your photograph a lot better here. And maybe you catch more of the side on the left and more side on the right. And then you don't really need this big kind of gray space at the top. I don't think you need that. So I think you could have done it more like this. And just I think that would be something that would be a little bit better. Yeah, and definitely share your thoughts as well. What do you think of the image? Let's pull this out too. Okay, so actually I saw this photograph on her Instagram a few days ago, and the first thing, oh, what is this place? What is this? This is amazing. And that's going, wow, like I really, really like this. This is my kind of place. When I think about the Philippines, everybody knows that the Philippines is very, very beautiful. There's so much to see, so much to do. There's beautiful islands, there's beaches, that's what everybody, that's the destination for most people that go to the Philippines. But I'm thinking, like, I want to meet the people, I want to see the culture, I want to see just daily lives of people and what they do and how they act, and all this type of things. So if I go to the Philippines, I'm not actually interested at all in going swimming and spending my time on a tropical beach somewhere by myself. I'm not really into that. I'm into this. This is where I'm going to be. So she told me this is a wet market in the Philippines, Quezon City. She said it was, which is I guess about an hour from Manila, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, this is just gorgeous. I love this. I want to go to the Philippines because of this image. I want to visit because of this image. So thank you for that. Of course, I always thought going to the Philippines would be really, really cool, really, really nice. I've always wanted to go to see. And I've been telling some other friends that I've met from the Philippines that, I'd love to go visit. And I was always thinking, I'd like to go and visit like Manila and the city. Or if I go to a lesser known destination, that I'd want to go somewhere where I can see, the life of the people that actually live there. And, I kind of want to stay away from just, being a tourist. I don't want to be a tourist. I want to see, the real Philippines. I want the real thing, right? And as a photographer, that's what I'm interested in. Is not, going swimming, although I love swimming. That's not exactly what I'm interested. I'm interested in, okay, I'm interested in life, just life in general. And uh, definitely when I see something like this, I'm like, okay, if I get the chance, I want to be here. This is where I want to be. If you find me in the Philippines, you'll find me in this type of place. that's where I'll be photographing. So thank you so much for this image. I can't say more. I can't say, you know, anything bad about this image. I mean, I can, you know, you can nitpick, but this tells me so much about the Philippines, about this place. I am, yeah, I'm so interested. I love these wires all over the place, and I have a little project of my own because I came to Korea, and that's one thing that stood out. I was wondering, why are all these telephone wires like everywhere, there, here, and just everywhere in a big mess? And now I'm thinking, okay, well, it's not that big of a mess, because if I'm seeing this, like there's a lot more of these lines everywhere in this picture than what I see here. Even though, back in Toronto, that's even less, but still, I love this. It's like, okay, I don't know if it's safe. I wouldn't trust it to be safe if I were having to fix them, but it's so interesting. It's so amazing. So you got the wires everywhere. This is the town. This is the city. This is the market. And then we see, okay, we got the worker here carrying the I don't even know what they are. The rails or something. Okay, and then you got people on their bikes, and they're stopping, and they're looking at whatever they're gonna buy. Looks like you might be grabbing some change to buy something there at the stall. And then you got the workers here. Man, these kids are, yeah, they just look like young kids that are doing the selling. So they're working with their parents or something. I'm curious, or they're already grown up and working, or they're working to just help their families. So amazing. You got the motorcycles back there and right here as well. Everybody's shopping, doing this thing on a nice, bright, sunny day. I don't know if this is morning or nighttime, but I love this. This is an award-winning photograph in my book, and I think it's just done with the phone. She did it with the phone, which is just amazing. I love this. Thank you so much. Okay, and this is our last image from the images that she sent. Okay, so we got right here with this woman, right, holding the fish net here. Some people in the boat coming up. Okay, so for this one, same thing. As I mentioned with the other image from before, is you got a lot of space at the top that you maybe don't need. And another thing that I can say is, although you did a good job kind of just, okay, they're fishermen, there's boats, or catching some fish for, to eat for the day or whatnot. But one thing that you could try to work on is when you have a lot of people in the scene, try to include their faces. We see it a lot, especially with, I did it all the time when I was first starting out, is a lot of photographs just from the back, right? Not really facing anybody. So we can't see faces. We can't see, really what's going on. We just see like the the back of them. We see that a lot. But if you can, don't do only that kind of back shot, right? There's a lot of things that could have been done here, right? You could have waited for her to turn around or come towards you, take the photograph, or you could have taken her photograph from the back, but you could have taken the photograph in a way where you would catch more of these people on the boat, right? So you would get closer to her, and then you turn to the right or turn to the left, and then you'd capture this boat more and the people in the boat. Or you could have come this way and you can capture more of what's going on in that way. I think that could have just been a little bit better. Actually, I think that could have been a lot better because, although this photograph is intriguing and we can kind of grasp a lot about maybe this area, we could have been able to share a bigger, more interesting story to actually capture the lives of these people here. And I think that's kind of one of the things that I want to do, and what I want to encourage you to do when we're doing this series is not just focusing on any random snapping, any random just click, 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 click with no end goal. What I try to do is I try to document something, right? I'm trying to capture the moment. I'm trying to capture the culture, capture and document kind of daily, everyday life that I witness when I go out with my camera. Sometimes it's not extra special, not something amazing every time. Sometimes I get something really, really, really awesome that I'm so happy with, a really, really great moment or something like that. But oftentimes I'm just documenting. I'm, and if you look at all the photos combined, hopefully you can see, the big picture. Like, okay, this is Seoul in 2022 or something like that, right? And I think that is, you know, something that we can try to aim to do. We can try to have that as our end goal. Whereas we're documenting the culture, we're documenting the lives of the people, we're documenting the place. And if your photographs are telling that kind of stories, I think that's going to be really, really awesome. And I want to encourage you to try to think of that and try to do that when you're taking photographs. And those photographs send to me for review so I can see where you're living and I can tell the stories, or I can see the stories through your photographs of the place that you live and the people there and all about your culture. That's what I love to see when I look at your photographs. So, just like this one here. So please keep taking photographs, have that in mind, and try to share with me the photographs that are telling the stories of the people and culture where you live or where you visit. Do that for me. Send it to me. Tell me your stories. Tell me about the people. Tell me about the culture. Tell me about the place. Tell me why you love documenting those particular things. And I'm going to love doing these review videos with you. Okay, so I look forward to tomorrow's video. Please get in touch, send them to me. And if you enjoy this video, consider giving me a little like and a subscribe. And of course, you can invite your friends also to join in these reviews as well. If they're into photography, if they do photos, ask them to also join in. They can also send their photographs and participate as well. I look forward to meeting them, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as well. Take care.